Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going through the Europa League and the Europa Conference League, starting with the Europa League obviously. This is how I thought the ties would turn out. I thought Liverpool would beat Atalanta, but Atalanta threw a shock in there for us all. I thought West Ham would get beat by Leverkusen, and they did. A lot closer than it might have been imaginable for Leverkusen, but they got there through. Benfica versus Marseille, I said Aubameyang is taking this all the way for Marseille, and they got through to the next round as well. And then AC Milan versus Roma, all Italian tie, and I thought AC Milan's European pedigree would push them through in this game, but Roma went, no thank you very much, we're going to go through as well, and that De Rossi has taken them through into that next round. And now we've gone from Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Marseille and AC Milan being the favourites to go for it, and now it is Leverkusen, Atalanta, Marseille and Roma who are looking to try and take this tournament home for themselves. We're going to start with that first game, Leverkusen versus Roma. This one is massive. This one is huge. It's Xabi Alonso versus De Rossi. What a matchup that is. Two of the best DMs of all time. Mr. Loyal in De Rossi himself was at Roma his whole career, apart from that little stint at the end where he went to Boca Juniors. It's a weird one, but he did it. And then Xabi Alonso just is perfect, everything does, and that's why they're unbeaten so far this season. And it is unbeaten versus the past success. They've got Roma have won European competitions in the past. Leverkusen haven't. Leverkusen, this is a tick off the mark for them, and can they get it? I hope so, because it's also Schick versus Lukaku, and I want Schick to pass on. Anyone that knows me and watches my channel a lot knows that I do quite like Patrick Schick, and being a United fan, and do not like Lukaku. And it is the winners of the Bundesliga versus fifth in Serie A, and that's why I do think Leverkusen will take it. Leverkusen will continue their unbeaten run through this game. Roma will give them a challenge, but not too much of a challenge. Leverkusen will pass through it and pass into the next round very nicely, and that gives us Marseille versus Atalanta, who in my mind is going to be meeting them in the final. Well, we're going to start with, it is Aubameyang versus Scamacca. Both have been on good form in the Europa League so far this year, but I think Aubameyang just edges it. However, if you look at the league form, it's 8th versus 6th. It's not a promising time for either of them, but in the Europa League they can push on and do what they need to do. But Leverkusen obviously looming high above everyone else right now, and that's why I go into the finals. What can the finals be? Leverkusen versus Marseille is the most likely one in my mind. As I said, I think Aubameyang is going to be dragging Marseille through the mud here, and Leverkusen obviously going unbeaten will continue to go unbeaten and win this tournament, in my personal opinion. Leverkusen versus Atalanta being the second most one, because I said Marseille Atalanta, it's going to be hard to pull them apart, and if somehow Roma march past Leverkusen, they'll face Marseille, and I feel that this is a lot closer tie than you can imagine, and I think Marseille might have to snatch it, add to their European pedigree, the Champions League that they won back in the 90s, and add a Europa League to it, they wouldn't be complaining. But an all-Italian final, that will do well for their coefficient points. Roma versus Atalanta, the all-Italian final. Last year, the Italians failed 3 times in 3 European finals. This one, it would be a guarantee for them, wouldn't it? And then finally, how would this result in, who's going to win it? In my mind, I still think Leverkusen are favourites. After Leverkusen is Roma. If Leverkusen get past Roma, if Roma get past Leverkusen, I think Roma will win it. But I don't think anyone's getting past Leverkusen. Marseille, I think, have a better chance of winning it than Atalanta. But apart from that, Atalanta at the bottom. You're the least likely one to win it in my mind. So if you want to edge your bets on it, I'd put them on Atalanta just because it's funny. But yeah, going on to the Conference League now. And we had some good ties for us this one. It was Olympiacos versus Fenerbahce, and I thought Fenerbahce might have to just edge over with a bit more experience, but Olympiacos won that home final and they beat them. Victoria Pleasant versus Fiorentina, and Fiorentina went through. Aston Villa versus Lille, it took them to penalties. It took Martinez 2 yellow cards, but Aston Villa got through. And then Club Brugge versus PAOK, Club Brugge do go through. And then that leaves us with, I actually said Club Brugge go through, and then I've written POK. I don't know why I've written POK there. But we'll go on to what I think is most likely now is Aston Villa, Fiorentina, Olympiacos and Club Brugge on the most likely to win it. Looking at it right now. And then going on to the semi-finals, Aston Villa versus Olympiacos. It is that European pedigree, that pedigree of, they've won it in the 80s, but I mean, they've got Unai Emery right now. That's who's going to be pushing him on here. That's he's been here before. He knows how to win these tournaments. And in a European competition, you want Emery as your manager. He knows how to find a way through these tournaments. He got Villarreal to a semi-final of the Champions League, and he's won countless Europa Leagues. But in his way stand Olympiacos, who are desperate to get that home final, desperate to have a final at their home ground. That would be insane for them, and it would be an atmosphere that would be rocking. It's fourth versus fourth, but fourth in the Premier League is very different to fourth in the Greek Super League. So I do think Aston Villa will be able to walk past them here. And then in the other semi-final, it's Club Brugge versus Fiorentina, and it would be a tasty one. Obviously, Fiorentina get into the final last year. It would be a first time for the final in Club Brugge, or a back-to-back final for Fiorentina. It would be tasty. And then we're looking at 9th versus 4th. I've actually got it the wrong way around there. It's actually Fiorentina are 9th and Club Brugge are 4th in their league right now. So it's, Fiorentina not on the best of form. Club Brugge might have to get past them, but I do feel like we are most likely to see an Aston Villa versus Fiorentina final. If somehow Aston Villa get beat, I think Aston Villa are more likely to get beat than Fiorentina. Oh my God, what have I done there? If Aston Villa do get beat, I think Olympiacos versus Fiorentina, and I think whoever wins that Aston Villa versus Olympiacos is going to win this tournament. And then Aston Villa to beat Club Brugge as well, and Olympiacos to beat Club Brugge. I don't think Fiorentina are going to get beat by Club Brugge, but I think whoever they face in the final will beat them. And that's why I've got is Aston Villa, Olympiacos, Fiorentina and Club Brugge as the favourites to go for the tournament, with Aston Villa being the favourite in my opinion. And that takes me to who I think is going to win these European competitions. And as we've already said, Champions League is going to Real Madrid, the Europa League is going to Leverkusen, and the Conference League is going to Aston Villa. And now that is the end of my semi-final predictions, and the next time you'll see me is on the final predictions for each one of these competitions, and we'll see if we can still be saying each one of these teams is going to be winning it when it gets to them. But if you like the video, please leave a like. You want to see more, subscribe, because there's more talk about football every single day on this channel. Thank you for watching, guys, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Cheers.